In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact wealth mindset shifts and millionaire success habits that separate financially free people from everyone else, all drawn from Dean Graziosi's most powerful teachings. It's about the daily decisions, mental frameworks, and internal shifts that separate people who achieve financial freedom from those who stay stuck. So let's get into it. The first aspect we're looking at is the enemy within, your villain story. The first and maybe most powerful idea in this book is what Graziosi calls your villain story. This is the essential narrative you've been telling yourself, often since childhood, about why you can't succeed. Things like, I'm not smart enough, I didn't go to the right school, money is for other people, rich people are greedy. Here's the hard truth. That story is not reality. It's a script handed to you by circumstances. And you've been rehearsing it so long it feels like fact. Dean challenges you to identify your villain story and rewrite it. Before you can change your bank account, you have to change your inner dialogue. This isn't fluffy motivation. It's not foundational stuff. If you subconsciously believe you don't deserve wealth, you will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. For your finances specifically, ask yourself, what story are you telling yourself about money? Do you say things like, I'm just not good with money, or we were never from a wealthy family? Those beliefs are costing you more than any bad investment could ever. We're going to look at the 7 levels deep exercise. One of the most memorable tools in the book is called 7 levels deep. The idea is simple but really profound. You ask yourself why you want something, and then you keep asking yourself why to each answer 7 times over. Most people, when asked why they want to be successful, say something like, I want more money. But why? You have to ask yourself. So I don't have to worry, is it? And then ask yourself, why is that? Why does that matter? Because stress is ruining my health, maybe the answer. Now, why does that matter? And it could be because you want to be present for your family or kids, and so on. So by the 7th level, you almost always arrive at something deeply emotional: love, fear, legacy, or freedom. And that emotional core is your real motivation. It's the fuel that will keep you going when things get hard, when the business is slow, when the investments don't quite pan out. The practical takeaway: surface level goals don't sustain effort. Write down your 7 levels and stick to them, somewhere visible. When your motivation dips, and it will, those 7 levels will pull you back. Now let's look at the rearview mirror versus the windshield concept. Now here's the concept that resonates with a lot of people. Dean talks about the difference between driving through life, looking in your rearview mirror, versus looking through the windshield. The rearview mirror represents your past, your failures, your loss, your mistakes. The windshield is the future, where you're going, and it's all about what's possible. Too many people are navigating their entire financial lives based on what they didn't find worked years ago. They got burned by one bad investment in 2009 maybe, and never tried again. They failed at one business and decided they weren't entrepreneurial. The past has information. It doesn't have to have authority. I think we can all attest to having this happen to us at times. Now, practically speaking, review your financial past honestly. Not to beat yourself up, but to extract the lessons. Then deliberately shift your gaze forward. What would you try if that old failure didn't define you? Now let's look at the importance of habits over hustle. This is where the book gets its name, and this is where Dean separates himself from a lot of generic success gurus. He's not telling you to hustle harder. He's telling you to build better habits. He makes the point that millionaires aren't working 24 hours a day. Many of them are working smart, structured hours built around consistent daily habits. Morning routines, reading habits, investment habits, reflection habits. These small repeated behaviors compound over time, just like interest compounds in an account. He's particularly pointed about the habit of continuous learning. The most financially successful people he studied are voracious learners. They read, they listen to podcasts, they attend events, they invest in their own education, not as a cost, but as the highest return investment that they can make. The financial application for this that you could do is look at your daily habits around money. Are you checking your finances regularly? Are you learning about investing, tax efficiency, or even your industry? Even 15 minutes a day of focused financial education will put you far ahead of where you are in 2 or 3 years. I will also add, choose one aspect that you have learned and implement this so that you can really make progress. He also looks at selling, and that selling isn't a dirty word. One section of the book that surprises a lot of people is Dean's passionate defense of sales skills. He argues that the ability to sell, whether you're selling a product or a service, an idea, or even yourself, is one of the most valuable financial skills you can develop. Many people, especially in the UK and more reserved cultures like ours, cringe at the idea of being salesy. But Dean reframes it to selling as its core. It's helping someone solve a problem they have with something that you offer. When you believe in what you're providing, selling becomes a service. Every raise negotiation is a sale. Every pitch to a client is a sale. Every conversation where you advocate for your business is a sale. Now, the takeaway, if you want to grow your income, whether employed or self-employed, is to get comfortable with persuasion and communication. Learn to articulate value clearly. Your income is largely determined by your ability to communicate worth. Now, let's look at the next concept, the outside in versus inside out approach. This is one of the more philosophical but equally important distinctions that Dean draws upon. Most people live outside in, meaning their emotions, confidence and energy are entirely determined by external circumstances. The economy is bad, so they feel hopeless. A deal falls through, so they spiral. A competitor beats them, so they question everything. Millionaires tend to operate inside out. They develop an internal anchor, a core identity, a set of values, a belief system that doesn't get shaken every time the market moves or a deal falls apart. This is directly linked to financial resilience. People who collapse emotionally at every setback make poor financial decisions. Panic selling, abandoning strategies too early, chasing trends out of fear. People with strong internal frameworks stay the course. The habit is to build. Develop a daily practice, whether that's journaling, meditation, exercise, or prayer, that strengthens your internal world. When your emotional foundation is solid, your financial decisions become steadier. Now also, he looks at create value and not just chasing money. So Dean is insistent on this point, and it's one worth sitting with. Stop chasing money and start creating value. He argues that money is simply a byproduct of value delivered to the world. When you solve a real problem, when you serve people genuinely, when you go above and beyond what's expected, money follows. This reframe is powerful because it takes the pressure and anxiety out of wealth building. Building and replace it with a question. How can I be more useful? What problem can I solve that people will pay for? He points out that the most successful people he's met are almost obsessively focused on their customers, their clients, their community, not on their own bank account. The balance in your bank is a score, not the game. For your business finances, regularly audit your business or career through this lens. Where are you genuinely creating value? Where are you going through the motions? Your income will grow when the value you deliver grows. The importance of investing in yourself first is a very key principle in this book as well. One of the recurring threads in the book is what Dean calls the important investment in yourself. Before stocks, before real estate, before any external assets, your skills, your mindset, and your knowledge are your greatest financial instruments. He talks about how so many people will spend thousands on a car. They depreciate the moment you drive it off the lot, but resist £100 on a course, which could really change their earning potential. This is a powerful mindset shift. Every time you invest in your knowledge or your skills, you are increasing the asset that generates all your other assets. And that's you. Practical challenge for you is to identify one skill that if you developed over the next 12 months could meaningfully increase your income or business results. Then invest in developing it, not someday, but this month. Now, looking at the compound effect of habits. So let's bring everything together. The central message of the Millionaire Success Habits is not that wealthy people are smarter or luckier or more talented than you. It's that they have developed a slightly different set of daily habits and mental frameworks. Those differences compound over years, produce dramatically different results. Rewrite your villain story, know your 7 levels deep, surround yourself with people who raise your standards, stop living from the rearview mirror, build habits over chasing hustle, and learn to sell and communicate your value. Strengthen your internal world, focus on creating value and not just chasing money, and always invest in yourself relentlessly. None of these are radical or inaccessible ideas. That's the whole point. Millionaire success habits are available to anyone willing to adopt them, starting today. If this resonated, the next step is simple. Pick a habit from this list, start it this week, and build from there. Small, consistent action beats big, occasional effort every time. As always, remember to design your profits first and your spend second.